Hey Chad. What you doing, Chad? Are you enjoying your little ice cream?
Yeah, are you enjoying your little ice cream?
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
Yeah, cat got your tongue?
Let me try some of that ice cream. Whoops. Haha, look. He's crying. What a loser. Ha 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 ha. Such a loser.
Are those 25s? I used to lift those when I started too.
I actually started with 10s. And 3 months ago.
Just stay consistent and you'll be able to lift the same as me one day.
Hey Chad, still warming up I see.
I actually just recently hit 50s. Really been focusing on my form a lot.
Just train hard and you'll eventually hit 75s like me.
What do you want, Gigachad?
Nice ride. How many horses under the hood?
Oh, it's got plenty. But I don't really need to max it out to enjoy the ride.
Probably around 700, huh? That's cute. My baby here packs over 1,500 horses. You really should try it one day. That's my cue. See ya.
This party is so awesome, Chad. I'm having such a good time.
Yeah, me too. We should head back to my place soon.
Yes, we definitely should.
Oh hey Chad.
Oh no.
I didn't know you'd come to this place. I've been a VIP here since it opened. You should join us.
Actually,
Absolutely. We'd love to join you.
I'm not feeling that well. I need to go to the bathroom. Hello?
Hey, what happened to you? You never returned. Anyway, your friend Gigachad is so awesome. He even invited me to a party in his mansion next week.
He's not my friend. And I? Never mind.
What's going on? You've been acting really strange.
I've been feeling a bit down lately.
You know, a friend of mine has been seeing this personal consultant. She told me he's really good. Maybe you should give him a call too.
Maybe.
I think he can really help you. I'll pass you his contact information.
Hello?
Hi, did I reach Chris?
Yes.
I think I need your help. Can we schedule an appointment?
Sure. Come by my office on Monday and we'll talk.
I have a problem. There's this guy called Gigachad. He always one-ups me in everything. I want to one-up him in some way.
But why do you want to one-up him?
Because he can lift more than I can, drives faster cars, sleeps with better women, and even has more money than I do.
And why do you care?
I care because I have a reputation to maintain. People look up to me. They see me as successful. They want to live my life. They want to be like me. If they see him, they'll want to be like him.
But, from what you're saying, you want to be like him.
No, I don't. I want to be even better.
Why would you want that?
Because I want to be successful. Life needs to be enjoyed to the fullest. It's about having a good time, driving fast cars, sleeping with hot women, drinking and partying all night.
But it doesn't sound like you're having a good time right now.
No, I'm not. And it's all because of that Gigachad.
What if I told you it's not because of Gigachad?
What do you mean?
What I mean is that maybe you're not enjoying life to the fullest because of your expectations.
Can you further explain what you mean by that?
Well, Some people find enjoyment and happiness without necessarily being successful. While personal achievement, financial success and physical dominance are valuable traits, they are still only external measures of success and accomplishment. Happiness, on the other hand, is a state that arises from a sense of contentment, which, if authentic, shouldn't require external validation. Your ingrained belief that you need to be better than everyone in order to be happy and fulfilled is causing you to create incredibly high expectations and demands for yourself. It's creating an enormous pressure in you. Currently it's causing anger, which, if not resolved, might later cause psychosomatic problems.
I like to be successful because it gives me freedom to do what I want, when I want, and with whoever I want. It gives me the ability to pursue my passions and desires without financial limitations. It gives me a sense of purpose and fulfillment, and it also opens up new opportunities and experiences for me. It gives me motivation to constantly learn, adapt and grow. It also gives me an opportunity to create a lasting legacy, for individuals to remember and respect me once I am no longer here. My success can inspire others to strive for greatness as well.
I never said that you should abandon your desire for success. Quite the opposite, I admire your ambition to pursue your dreams and goals. I see I'll need to elaborate further about how our psychosocial structure is developed. Let's see if this helps us understand each other better.
As long as it helps me solve my problem, I'm interested.
Note that what I'm going to talk about next is a brief generalization and does not address the full complexity about each individual's structure. When talking about the psychosocial structure, we can roughly differentiate between two parts in every individual. I like to call this outer, more superficial layer our social game self. This layer mostly includes beliefs, attitudes and behaviors that an individual has learned from their social environment. It includes the impressions we received about ourselves from other people and responses to such stimuli. In cognitive behavioral therapy, this concept is often referred to as the social identity or the social self. Unfortunately, most people only know and are identified with this sense of self. This inner part is what I like to call our true nature. It represents the totality of our being that includes our current phenomenological experience, contact with presence, capacity for potential along with core values and attitudes deriving from our conscience and understanding.
Can you describe both parts in a bit more detail? I'm having trouble distinguishing between the two. And why do you call the outer layer the social game self?
I call it the social game self because from a human interaction perspective we are constantly playing a game with each other. It is a game where we convince each other of our level of success, competence, intelligence, wealth, power, beauty, legality, ownership, righteousness and so on. Most people even derive their self-value by comparing their attributes and life situation to other people. Note, this value is always relative, meaning people will usually present only positive aspects of themselves and hide or suppress inferior aspects. Because our attributes and life situation change with time, we also adjust representations of ourselves accordingly. A good example is how people present themselves on social media. Young men usually prefer to present their physique and achievements, while older usually prefer to show their knowledge and accomplishments. Younger women usually prefer to present their attractiveness and beauty, while older usually prefer to show their maturity and care. As you can see, we are not our attributes and life situation, because they are only a relative representation of us. Behind this charade, deep down, we all know the truth is that we are only flesh and blood. This is our true nature. It is very subtle. This is why many people miss it, because it is with us from the very beginning and will always be with us. Because it is us.
This is the part I'm not sure I understand completely. Can you be a bit more straightforward?
Sure. Let's try to understand it from an existential angle. Before any human being is born into existence, their capacity for potential is already known. The seed of every individual contains their potential to sense and to interact with other stimuli through thinking, moving, and feeling. This potential can then externalize into what we call reality and transform itself into different aspects of the social game. This game starts in early childhood, where we learn to copy people and react to phenomena around us. We form patterns of behavior, attitudes and beliefs, which help us develop a toolbox we can use to individualize ourselves. However, once we do individualize ourselves, many of our deeply rooted patterns of behavior, emotional reactions, attitudes, and beliefs stay the same, even though they no longer serve our purpose. This is why many people derive their self-value from their social game self. Because they simply do not know what they really are. They don't understand that they are this potential manifesting itself in the present moment. They get too involved with their attributes and life situation and lose themselves in the process. If you realize that you are this potential, you know that your current position is relative and that you always have the possibility to develop it to the level you want to or is possible. Judgments and opinions of other people should not determine your value, because you're already individualized.
How should I determine my value then? I know I like being successful and dominant.
People who have realized their true nature derive their core values and attitudes from conscience and understanding. You see, our true nature is always manifesting itself through our phenomenological experience in the present. This experience is dependent upon our contact with presence. The more conscious we are of phenomena in the present moment, the more input we receive. The more input we have, the better our understanding can be. This input needs to be arranged so it aligns with our core values. This is where conscience plays its role. Imagine conscience as the moral compass of every individual. It starts developing in our early childhood and helps us determine what we should or shouldn't do. You simply ask yourself a question and you get an answer in the form of an internal sense or feeling that helps you determine what you truly believe is right or wrong. If one decides to listen to it or not is a different matter, which I will not discuss in detail today. As you can see, one needs to be open to receive new forms of input and arrange it according to their conscience and understanding to form core values and establish attitudes according to these core values. As mentioned earlier, a lot of our established patterns of behavior, emotional reactions, attitudes and beliefs remain unchanged, even though they may no longer be appropriate or effective in our current situation or environment. If these patterns are not resolved, they can form a complex and lead to cognitive distortions, maladaptive behavior and emotional distress.
And how are these complexes resolved?
Whenever you find yourself in a situation where there is a discrepancy between your expectations and the reaction from your surroundings, you can follow these 4 steps. Keep in mind, these steps can be followed even without any underlying issues. Step 1, have a name. A vision according to your core values. Set a name and crystallize your core values. Distill and set your attitudes accordingly. It is recommended to always have a direction where you're headed, otherwise you're surrendering yourself to life's forces. Few people are capable of fully embracing everything regardless of the outcome. Step 2, pay close attention to yourself in moments of tension. Observe yourself in situations where there is a divergence between your desired and actual outcome.
Can you give me an example? Actually, I'd prefer it if you used my case. I can handle it.
Okay, sure. So, let's say that you want to enjoy yourself by being dominant and successful, even in gigachad's presence. You determine your attitudes accordingly. However, once you're in gigachad's presence, you feel his superiority over you. You become irritated and angry. This is the part where you incorporate step 2. You start to observe your reactions. Where are they coming from? What exactly is causing your anger and irritation? Just observe yourself, don't try to change anything. Gather new input. I recommend being especially aware of negative emotions caused in you. Have you noticed these are never useful in situations and drain a lot of our energy, yet we continue to act them out? By observing yourself, you're practicing contact with presence. You're becoming more conscious of your automated patterns and reactions, which no longer serve your purpose. For instance, what you'll probably notice, if you truly observe yourself, is that the reaction itself is what caused you not to have a good time anymore. That it was a reaction that may have worked for you in the past, but now, it's just a compensatory response. This brings us to the next step. Step 3. Adjust your core values and attitudes. Once you have new input and knowledge about yourself, you can restructure your beliefs and core values. You mentioned life is about enjoyment. In my opinion, you still have beliefs that override this core value of yours. You said that you like to be successful because it gives you freedom to do whatever you want, whenever you want, and with whoever you want. If we dive deeper into this statement, we quickly realize it is a generalization and does not and cannot always apply to your life situation. Generally, there is nothing wrong with always striving for success, but exaggerating its value can lead you to awkward situations, because life inevitably challenges you with health issues, old age, physical restraints, transfer of power, and so on. Once you gain new understanding about yourself, you can use the newly acquired knowledge and readjust your core values and attitudes so they fit your initial goal better. If you realize you have to adopt new attitudes, which you aren't comfortable with yet, I strongly suggest the fake it till you make it principle. I know step 3 might seem trivial, but because people don't actively do this step, they can be indefinitely stuck in their initial loop. If we go back to your example, observations about yourself and active reasoning will give you the necessary integration and help you realize new dimensions of joy and dominance. You might discover that you will exude more authority by being grounded and assertive than if you show off your achievements. This brings us to the final step. Step 4. Practice acceptance. This step is the most important step to resolve an issue and should be applied during the 3 previous steps too. Whenever you experience feelings of inability, inferiority, insignificance, disappointment, futility, that you've reached the peak of your potential, and so on, practice acceptance. Instead of rejecting these feelings and compensating on them, immerse yourself in them. Experience them fully. Let them overwhelm you. Feel the humility they bring. But this humility also brings lightness and ease. Your burden is suddenly released. If you feel like you aren't good-looking enough, that you aren't successful enough and feel like a loser, that you aren't intelligent enough, that you aren't sleeping with beautiful women enough, if you generally feel like life is against you and that you're nowhere close to your expectations of yourself, you need to allow yourself first that this is okay. That this is natural, that this is normal, and that it's not your inherent value. Are we really this shallow that we're willing to sacrifice our inner feeling of freedom and lightness just to show other people we're not as vulnerable as we are? That's the social game. Stop confusing it with life itself by sacrificing your inner happiness. It's not worth it and you know it. Deep down, we all know it. Have you ever heard of anyone who has said they want a partner who lies to them? Have you ever heard of anyone who said they want more anxiety and distress in their life? This is because at our core, we all have similar basic human needs. We all share the same nature. We're all just looking to feel inner peace by being fulfilled, accepted and loved. Most people are striving for status and financial independence just to achieve these inner states that give us a sense of contentment. All of the ads and consumerism is just about tapping into our complexes to keep us in the rat race. You've made it, Chad, and you're still trapped. Let go, forfeit to these insecurities. We are all strangers to life. We're all cruising through it the best we can. But we've become so obsessed with hiding our flaws we're willing to risk our integrity, our dignity, and even our mental health. Ask yourself, is it worth it? For me, it's not. Once you realize this for yourself, Life becomes easier because the burdening expectations aren't there anymore. Life becomes meaningful again because you're no longer obligated to do anything. Start practicing acceptance. Once you fully accept your life situation, once you're okay with the way you are, build your social game on top of that. That's how it should be played. Oh, and one last thing. Remember this. Money can be printed, time can't. So don't waste time trying to impress other people. Invest it in yourself, into your own well-being. This is how you really beat the rat race. Chad, are you crying?
No.
Come here, brother. I see you get it now.
How could I have become so superficial?
That doesn't really matter now, does it?
No. No, it doesn't. Thanks, man, I really needed this.
You are welcome, Chad. I'm really glad my words reached you. I believe this is it for today's session.
Hey Chad, what are you so happy about?
Well,
As you can see, I'm not doing bad myself.
I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. Well, I'm off to the gym. To do what I love. Lift.
Wow, you saved me. Thanks a lot.
No problem, man. And hey, I want to apologize for last time. It was totally uncalled for.
You know, you were kinda right though. I did hold myself back a little. In fact, this whole thing happened because I wanted to test my PR.
Well, if you ever need me to spot you, just let me know. I'll gladly help you out.
Okay, thanks dude. Hey Chad. I see you're still stuck on 50s. I'm already hitting 80s.
I recently realized that you can get injured really fast. That's why I prefer to be cautious. I'm in no hurry to achieve anything anyway. By the way, Gigachad, who was that blonde chick you were out with last time? She was kinda cute. I thought I might give her a call.
Who? You mean Sophie? She's not interested.
Oh hey Gigachad.
Hey Sophie. Just wanted to check how you were doing.
Pretty well, thanks for asking.
You remember that Chad guy from the other night? Well, today he wanted me to give him your number.
Oh really? Yeah, I remember him. Come on Gigachad, you know I'm not interested in him.
Okay, good. There is something off about him. I think he changed somehow.
I heard a rumor from a mutual friend he supposedly went to some therapist or consultant or something.
Huh, I knew it. What a loser. Can you maybe find out who he went to see?
Yeah, I can probably do that.
Hello?
What did you say to Chad? He seems so unbothered. I want what he's got.
Yeah, it hurts, but it could always hurt a little more. I know that I don't have to tell you the score.